guys, my name is Mallory Urban. I'm a senior at LSU, and here are my top 3 reasons why if I was picking a college again, I would not pick LSU.
Before we go any further, I'm not arguing with Mallory. She's actually a friend of mine. In fact, there's very little in this video I disagree with. However, I do plan on running for Metro Council again in the fall, and it would behoove me to listen to the grievances that many LSU students have with the local area.
And no hate, no shade, but this is just my experience being here for 4 years. So number 1, Louisiana itself.
I always tell people that living in Louisiana is great regarding culture, hospitality, and the people. Yeah, there are a lot of shitheads in this state, but that's everywhere. But where Louisiana really sucks is our government. I'll let her explain.
The roads of Baton Rouge are horrible.
And that's one of the main reasons I'm proud to call myself a libertarian, because despite all the talk I hear about how our taxes are for roads, I would very much like to have my money back because the roads look like crap and my car needs repairs.
Going into Baton Rouge is a college town. There's not much going on here outside of LSU. There's not.
This actually brings up a fun story about how Mallory and I first got connected with each other. We met at a local bar during karaoke night. In fact, it was the day Ozzy Osbourne passed away, R.I.P. But we exchanged each other's social media, and I noticed that one of her videos she posted on TikTok just a few weeks prior was her asking, hey, what is there to do in Baton Rouge over the summer? This is the first time I'm staying in Baton Rouge for the summer. And I'm like, oh, there's this crazy thing you can do called leaving. Because I've been here my entire life. There is nothing going on in Baton Rouge during the summer. But that brings me to the first thing I would like to do if I'm elected to Metro Council this fall. I want to do more stuff during the summer. Death Valley Tiger Stadium is one of the largest stadiums in the world. In fact, it's in the top 10. But for the most part, we only use it for football. Sure, we're starting to have more concerts here or there. We got Jelly Roll and Post Malone coming, and I can't remember the other guy. I think Zach Bryan. I'm not really a big fan of modern country. And don't get me wrong, I love country in general, but can we get more diversity in the kind of music we have at Death Valley? I mean, I went to see Crowbar last night at Chelsea's Live, up the road from Death Valley. Got a photo with the man, the myth, the legend, Kurt Winstein. But the reason I'm dressed like Jesus is because I know it gets attention, and I know it's going to have people approach me. And I segue that discussion to, I want to have the big 4 of thrash metal play Death Valley. Slayer, Megadeth, Metallica, and Anthrax on one bill. That's definitely going to put butts in seats. On a more mainstream side, I wouldn't be opposed to bringing Taylor Swift back. We've had her play there before, back when she was strictly a country artist, when we had Bayou Country Superfest. Now, the reason we stopped doing Bayou Country Superfest is because after a while, people realized being out in the hot sun all day around Baton Rouge kind of sucks. But if we're doing a single concert at Death Valley that brings people in from out of state, we don't have to do it all day. People are going to come in, they're going to get hotels, they're going to shop at local business, dine at local restaurants. It's going to boost revenue for the local area. And we don't just have to do concerts, and we don't just have to use Death Valley. Why are we not using the PMAC for an anime convention? I'd be totally open to doing something like that. Hell, I would even be open to using Alex Box Stadium for some smaller concerts that couldn't fill Death Valley. Because I know the grounds crew needs to work Death Valley over the summer in order to get it ready for football season. There's probably limited stuff we can do during the summer at Death Valley. But at the same time, Alex Box Stadium is still the largest stadium in college sports. I'm pretty sure we can still hold some reasonably decent-sized concerts there. Hell, I wouldn't be opposed to bringing Sabaton, one of my favorite Swedish power metal bands, there. In fact, for those who don't know, Sabaton is famous for writing songs about war history, and very much encourage you to Google the history of the namesake for Alex Box Stadium. I'm pretty sure Sabaton would appreciate playing at a stadium like that.
Get into number 2. The Southern Cliques. This is a huge one. If you are not from Louisiana, if your mom does not know somebody who knows something, goodbye. You're just not going to get into the cliques that you need to get into.
And this one even affects local people from the lower class, such as myself. And we refer to this as the good old boy system. If you know people in the government, you can pretty much get away with anything you want. Of course, that's more of the extreme government corruption side of things. But even in the private sector, it's hard to get a job around here that isn't in the restaurant industry. And the restaurant industry, I can tell you from experience, doesn't really pay all that much unless you're on the elite level. That's why we have so many college students who work their way through college in restaurants around here. If you want a job that's actually worth the crap, you got pretty much three options. Go work in the plants, get involved with the medical industry, or get involved with the justice system or the government. Because Baton Rouge is the state capital of Louisiana. But other than that, there's not really much going on around here because it's not a business-friendly state. And that all goes back to the good old boy system. Many of these plants get kickbacks from the government that we really shouldn't be giving them. That needs to stop. Look, it's not like they're gonna go anywhere if we stop giving them these government payouts. There's still a lot of potential in the Baton Rouge area for them to make profit. And Louisiana in general, for that matter. Meanwhile, Mississippi got rid of income tax and property tax. And yet, despite that, they're starting to surpass Louisiana, which is really sad because when I was growing up, we would go, yeah, Louisiana kind of sucks, but at least we're not Mississippi, and we can't even say that anymore now, can we? Honestly, if I don't get elected and I graduate ironworking school in 3 years, I might just move to Mississippi because there's still going to be a lot of work over there from what I'm seeing. There are more businesses moving to Mississippi right now than to Louisiana in general. If we want to expand industry, not only in Baton Rouge, but in Louisiana in general, we need to be more business friendly. We need to open up the free market so that entrepreneurs want to come here to start their business. There are so many great brands that have actually started literally here in the Baton Rouge area, but the second they become profitable, they leave state. Canes, Walk-Ons are two prime examples of this.
LSU itself. LSU is a very money-hungry place. Like, they'll get you for anything. If you park somewhere for 5 minutes just to go in and grab coffee, they're fine.
And this is a very common complaint I hear around LSU, and I'm surprised nothing has ever been done. Actually, I'm not. But how hard would it be to build a large parking garage for students or game days? Now understand, it's going to take a while to construct said parking garage, and in the meantime, it's going to make parking situation around LSU infinitely worse. But we have had 3 consecutive record-breaking incoming freshman classes. We need to do something. And I'm about to piss off a lot of my fellow libertarians, but I do have connections with the local ironworkers union. I'm pretty sure I can work out a contract if elected to Metro Council. As in, the reason I'm currently studying to become an ironworker is because I joined the ironworkers union here in Baton Rouge. But if it's any consolation, they hate commies, and they hate socialists, and they don't want the minimum wage to go up because that would be competition to them. But we currently have a lot of guys who are working on projects around LSU, such as the incoming freshman dormitories they're building off South Quad Drive. We're the ones putting these parking garages together. We can definitely work out a project to do a parking garage, I don't know, by River Road. That probably would be the best site to build one at right now.
It is not the safest place on earth. There has been many threats to the school, shutdown, lockdowns. I feel like as much as LSU wants us to believe that we are in the need-to-know basis, like, we are not.
The crime rate in Baton Rouge has been out of control as long as I've been alive. And there's not much I'd be able to do about it on the Metro Council level. But one thing I'm certain would help if I was able to get into the state legislature somewhere down the line is eliminate all victimless crimes, such as consumption of marijuana. We need to stop putting people in jail for victimless crimes and go after gangbangers, murderers, and rapists. Stop sending people to jail who harm no one and put people in jail that actually belong there and keep them there. But there is one thing I would do if elected to Metro Council is designate March 16th Gary Plauché Day. If you know, you know. That would be more symbolic, but again, if you know, you know. I would like to create a law that would make sure that anybody with no prior criminal history would get the same treatment as Gary Plauché for doing what he did. But I'm not sure I'd be able to do something like that in Metro Council level, but we can try. But I would like to thank Mallory Urban for her video, and if you're not subscribed to her, give her a follow, link down below. And remember, be bold, Vote gold. Go Tigers!